Football. Ready, play.
Football in America is a special game. The men who play it make it so.
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun.
This is the Gridiron Gumbo Show. High school, college, and pro football talk. Live from the studios of Today's Country 105.7. The Gridiron Gumbo Show is being brought to you by Mid-South Forestry Equipment and Gina Choctaw Pines Casino. Now, let's talk football.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Gridiron Gumbo Show here on Today's Country 105.7, presented by Mid-South Forestry Equipment and Gina Choctaw Pines Casino. Only about a third of that intro is true. We are not live from the studio. Mike Holt is back in studio. Myself and Derrick are here courtside at Rose Pine High School here in the gym. Again, if you saw the post earlier on the West Central Sports page, we are here for our first broadcast of the 2025-2026 high school basketball season. So if you hear a bunch of whistling and cheers, it's not like basically like we're hosting college game day or anything, but you might hear a JV game going on out here on the floor right now. Looks like we have a girls and a boys. But we will have this. It'll be a shortened show. We'll wrap it up just in time for tip-off of the girls' game between Rose Pine and Stanley, and then we'll have a boys' game to follow. The girls start at 6. Boys will follow shortly thereafter. Mike, how are you back there at studio?
Pretty good. How about you guys?
Doing well. Derrick, how are you?
Okay, good play.
We have wrapped up the by-district round of the playoffs here in high school football, and both teams that we had in the playoffs last week have advanced to the regional round. We'll break that down. We'll talk about both of our games. Look, just a blank statement. Pretty much both teams got out to a very fast start and kind of cruised the rest of the way. Leesville especially, I was able to watch the DeRidder game as well, and it was a much better start and finishing result for the Dragons as well at home. So both of the teams, Leesville and DeRidder, move on to the regional round. We'll talk about those games and preview a little bit of what's coming in the regional round. We'll talk about LSU winning against Arkansas. The boot stays home. And, again, it wasn't pretty, but a win's a win. And then it is also Falcons Hate Week to all who observe. Derrick observes. The Panthers got it done, getting ready, kind of softening them up for us. We'll talk a little bit more about that Falcons-Panthers game because it's the Saints' opponent next. And, again, if Bryce Young's able to set a franchise record of passing yards, I don't know if Tyler Shoug's going to be able to do it because that was about 510, I think, is the Saints' passing yards record set by Drew Brees. So, yeah, I don't think Shoug's going over 5 bills, but we'll talk a little bit about that in our NFL segment. So, at first, again, we'll recap our playoff games in the by-district round. Leesville all over Kinder Discovery, the Swamp Owls. We talked about it, a matchup of mascots. I was down at LSU at tailgate Saturday talking to somebody and asked me what game I called last night, and we mentioned the Wampus Cats and the Swamp Owls. And they were like, that's probably the best mascot matchup in the state. I was like, absolutely, there's no doubt. Like,
see, I told Mr. Mike about that Friday. He was like, oh, I can imagine covering that game.
He'd love saying Swamp Owl. And, I mean, look, and not to be outdone by what's this week with the Dragons. Like the Dragons and the Griffins, kind of a mythical matchup. But, yeah, look, Kinder Discovery took the little bit over 4-hour trip to Leesville, and it got out of control in a hurry. Leesville advances 52-7. They use a big first half. Look, we'll break it all down and just give you some of the numbers. Look, it'll be quick because the game went quick. We had a running clock 6.5 minutes into the second quarter.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, look, Kinder Discovery won the toss. They received the kickoff. Opening play, they went for a first down. And then a couple of negative plays after that, a couple of sacks. Gave the ball to Leesville. All it took was one play, 69-yard touchdown pass from Trell Broom to Julius Brown. And just like that, 11 seconds in Leesville having the ball, they were up 7-0. They were able to get a 3-and-out on their second drive, and then got pretty good field position on a nice punt return, got it to the Kinder Discovery 16, and Jacob Bahinig made a nice catch and run, made some guys miss, 16 yards out. The next one was another first down on a big play, and then a punt after that. So Leesville gets it back on their own 24. A couple of plays later, a 65-yard touchdown by Mike Davis Jr. from Trell Broom. So that made it, with the extra point, 14-0. So 4.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Leesville's had the ball for like 5 seconds, and they're already up a couple of scores. They get the 3-and-out, get a nice return on the kickoff, and Jacob Bahinig makes a couple guys miss, scores on the passing touchdown. That's Broom's third of the first quarter. And this time, Sedmore hits his lineman in the back on the extra point. So he had been warming up so much, kicking the ball off, and extra points. His leg got a little tired, and he went ahead and drilled one of his linemen in the back. So that one wasn't good, but 2:29 left in the first quarter. Leesville led 20-0. They would get it back after Kinder Discovery turns it over on downs. And Grant Braxton runs 3 yards out for his first touchdown. 27-0. We're not even out of the first quarter yet. I mean, it got out of hand from there. So after one, Leesville led 27-0. They get the ball back after a muff snap on the punt, but Leesville gets it after they force a third down sack by Pahinik. So they were nearly about to cough it up. They get it back 2 plays later. Grant Braxton from 10 yards out, his second rushing touchdown in as many drives. So extra point was good. 34-0, 3 minutes into the second quarter. A couple of plays later, after a 3-and-out, Mike Davis catches his second touchdown pass. This one 26 yards on 3rd down and 2. So they went for the home run. They went for 2. Grant Braxton ran it in for a 2-point play. So at that point, with 6:45 to go, we have initiated the running clock. It's 2-0. They go into the half. Leesville comes out of the half, gets it. They go for a 25-yard field goal. Sedmore makes it. It's good. So 45-0. Kinder Discovery then gets on the board. Nice play, a 77-yard rushing touchdown by arguably their most electric player. And 45-7 at that point. Leesville gets it back, turns it over on downs. The backups have been in for the entirety of the second half. They add another one on their last drive, or one of their last drives, a 1-yard run by Javon Edwards. He comes in. So 52-7. Look, it was mainly the first half where the starters played. Actually, they came out, started working them out halfway through the second quarter. Defensively for Leesville, 0-for-7 on 3rd downs. They only gave up 6 first downs, and a couple of them were like the first play of the drive. One was first play of the game, and then they would get Kinder Discovery into some negative plays. Had a couple of sacks, really won at the line of scrimmage. Kinder Discovery just couldn't really do anything on offense. Grant Braxton had a couple of touchdowns, a 2-point run. Julius Brown had the touchdown. Pahinik and Mike Davis Jr. Mike Davis had a couple. Trell Broom, 6-for-7, just a little bit over 200 yards, 4 touchdowns in the first half. So, I mean, pretty good day at the office.
Yeah.
You like to see that. If you had him on your fantasy team, you probably did pretty good as well. He had 27 touchdown passes on the season after those 4. In 2 seasons, 52 combined. It's 3rd all-time on the record list for touchdown passes at Leesville. So, and look, like I said the other night, he's got a little more meat on the bone. He's got a whole nother year and a week next week.
And I heard that he's one of the 3 or 4 quarterbacks to have a 2,000-yard passing season.
Yeah, and again, just a little bit over 2,000 going into the playoff game. That's right. Look, it's been great. I mean, obviously, if you're kind of, skeptic, you're going to be like, well, wonder what that sophomore campaign's going to look like now that you don't have Xavier Ford to hand the ball off to. Well, it went pretty good for him. Obviously, keeping possession of the football, not really throwing a whole lot of interceptions, and they've been able to run the ball too. So Leesville moves on to the regional round of the playoffs, and they don't have far to travel. Like, if Kinder Discovery would have somehow pulled off the upset, they'd have to get back on the bus next week, take another 4-hour trip to Lake Charles. Leesville's just got to go down the road. They're going to be playing. They're going to be playing LCCP, the 3 seed, the Blazers. And as of Friday night, we weren't really sure where that game's going to be. I don't think they knew Saturday morning either, but we do know it's going to be at Sam Houston. Unfortunately, logistics just aren't going to work out for us to be there. A couple of stations already going, but that game will be Friday night at Sam Houston, the 14 and the 3 seed. And if I could find my papers that I have, that's last week's paper. They're here somewhere. We'll figure it out. Oh, there it is. Winner of this game between LCCP and Leesville will move on to the quarters, where the winner of number 6 Vanderbilt Catholic and number 11 George Washington Carver will await them. Leesville actually went down to Thibodaux last year to play Vanderbilt Catholic's rival, E.D. White. So kind of a similar trip. If they were to somehow pull off the upset and get the win, they will be on the road in the next round regardless, because 6 and 11, the higher seed gets it. Anyways, Leesville's the 14. But again, like I said, not a whole lot to say. It got out of hand ugly. Look, when it's running clock 6.5 minutes in, I made the comment, I think, Friday night. The way the playoff structure is, it's not going to be perfect. The old way wasn't perfect either. I think they're still trying to figure it out. But there's got to be some tinkering with this, man. They weren't just like –
What was the old way?
Well, before the split, it was just five classes, 32 in. Since we've gone with the split, now we're in divisions. So we're not even classes anymore. Some classes, 3A and 2A are together. It's just it's not perfect, but Kidder Discovery, and this is no disrespect to them. They've only been playing football since 2018, and that was JV, so they didn't start playing a varsity schedule until a few years ago. But they were 19th, which means they were firmly in the playoffs. The top 24 get in select, so they've got to just figure something out because there's no way you should get a running clock in a postseason game, and especially not in the first round. That's just, or maybe in the first round, but that's why we're giving the higher seeds buys now, right? So again, you'll have one of those teams with a bye, LCCP. They've got to kick their feet up and I guess come watch and see what Leesville's got. Look, if you've seen any LCCP scores, they can light it up, man. They got a running back who I don't know how this is even possible, but he's averaging 21 yards a carry, and he's only carried it 11.7 times a game. 117 carries, he's averaging 21 a carry. I don't know what's going on. I would have given him the ball more if I was LCCP.
That's pretty good odds.
Yeah, and again, over 2,000. But like I said, we saw a guy last year that ran it well, and he got more than 11 carries a game. I don't understand.
How many touchdowns does he have on the season?
Oh, you made me do that without looking. I don't know. I didn't write it down. I'll have it for us Friday. How about that? But, again, I saw that number, and that just jumped off the page. 21 yards a carry on 117. I could understand if it was 3 carries. But we're talking, that's a heavy dose, at least 10-plus a game. So Leesville's going to have to stop the run. This is a game where if Leesville's scoring it right and LCCP scoring it right, it may be 70-65. And LCCP's already had a game like that. They played Barb, and it was 70-65. They were down 28 at the half, and they came back and won 70-65. So they beat Opelousas this year. They've got some really, really good wins on their schedule. So, look, it's going to be a tough game, but you're a Wampus cat. Y'all played some tough games in the playoffs.
I played LCCP before.
Yeah,
and it's not it's crucial.
Yeah, look.
Especially on the road.
Yeah, and look, if you're Leesville, just go play like you've been playing. Again, you're on a 5-game winning streak now, and just know, the sense of urgency. The next loss, send you home. I think that's enough. And for the seniors, you don't want to go home. You want to keep this thing rolling. Last year they went all the way to the semifinals. Just keep rolling, and you're the underdog. You're not quote supposed to win here, so just go play with house money and see what you can do. But I think it's going to come down to if Leesville can get some stops. We know their ability to score, but look, they're going to have to get some stops. They played some defense. They've moved some guys around all year. They've had guys playing both ways. They've had some injuries, so some guys have stepped up. They're playing a lot of younger guys this year, man, and they've done a great job. So that one, Friday night at Sam Houston, it'll be the Blazers and the Wampus Cats. And, again, the winner of that moves on to the quarterfinals, and that will be against the winner of the 6-11 matchup, Vanderbilt Catholic and GW Carver. As for your game Friday night, a good one for the Dragons. First home playoff game in a while, but they get their second playoff win in 3 years, and it was against the team they had seen before. And we had broke this game down last week where, look, it was 13-12. DeRidder could have won this game by double digits, or they could have lost it on the last play of the game. There was none of that on Friday. From the jump, it was over. They got good field position because Eunice tried the onside kick kind of early. So they got great field position, scored a couple plays later. Connor Rushford was great. He scored a couple times. Javon Fairley, both of those guys look like they're back. Javon Fairley, 3 touchdowns, a couple of long ones. The long one he made a couple guys miss in the hole. It was just, man, it was what we saw, that touchdown against Manny, kind of the similar play, but it looked just like that. He was quick. He looked fast, athletic. Connor looked healthy. He was shaking guys off. And they got Eunice into a tough down and distance pretty much every time. Just what were your thoughts? Because, again, you saw this same game a couple of months ago, and it wasn't like this. It was sloppy. And look, Jaden Merriweather had a touchdown catch, but
he also had one drop.
He could have had another one. Yeah, so those were the things you saw in the first game, but they really kind of bared down and focused and put an emphasis on getting off to a fast start, executing. What did you think?
To be honest, I really think that we was right about that. DeRidder left a lot of points on the field with all those drop passes and the screens. I'm sorry. The clapping throw me off a little bit.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. You gotta tune the noise out. It's like we're on a road game. Yeah, the boys JV game's actually about to start here, so we're moving on right along. But yeah, look, like I said, this could have been this is a district rivalry game. These teams know each other well. It was important for DeRidder to get out to that fast start.
It kind of surprised me, honestly, because it was DeRidder's offense looked more up pace.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's a perfect way to describe it because, you know, you've been with them every week. I've been here and there, and then I'll go back and watch some of the games on Huddle. And last week, the Under the Lights crew had them, so I was just able to flip through YouTube and watch it pretty quickly. But yeah, they got out. They were quick. There was a tempo, and it did look like Eunice was ready for it because you know how Eunice plays. They play kind of slow, methodical, double tight, double wing. They weren't able to just control the game like they were the last time.
So that's how the DeRidder was at the beginning of the season. They would just control the clock, control the ball, time of possession. But this game, they were just explosive play after explosive play after explosive play.
Yeah, I want to say DeRidder wasn't really into a lot of third downs.
No.
Like it was. I think one of the third downs they had was on the Javon Fairley run. They actually had a 3rd and 6 because they got a penalty, and then he busted off the long run. So it didn't even matter that they got behind the sticks a little bit. But if they can dictate the line of scrimmage and do that and kind of stay on schedule on offense, and they're so much better because there's a lot of these games this season where they play Jennings, Newton, even Manny, where they just 3 and outs. Leesville, 3 and out, and the drives are like 30 seconds, 90 seconds.
I wouldn't even say that. It was more they would be in the game at the beginning of the
game at half, and then Jennings, and then boom, just fall flat on your face, whether it be fatigue or just kind of a halftime adjustment, or like we said, 2 guys that were injured most of the year are back and look really sharp. Now, as what Eunice was offensively, it's going to be the polar opposite this week, Friday. They go to a team that we saw a couple of years ago, same matchup, North DeSoto, the top seed in Division II non-select. I got to make sure I say that right because select, non-select, it gets confusing.
It's so weird.
It is. It doesn't make any sense. But they will be traveling up to Stonewall. That is a straight shot. And it is, look, I say you can pull out of the school, out of Rosepine, you turn left, going north. You literally don't turn again until you turn right into the school parking lot. It's about 2 hours. Nice facilities. We're going to be over there in the visitors' press box, so it's going to be awesome. But look, man, if you haven't seen their tempo, it is 100 miles an hour, and they're one of the best teams in the state. Got one of the best quarterbacks in the state, which we'll break all that down pregame. But the way DeRidder's going to have to be in this, because what happened last time, I don't know if DeRidder's going to win. But I know there is one way they will not win, and it's let the game get out of hand early. That is exactly what happened when we went a couple of years ago. DeRidder was in it, and then like 3 minutes in, it was 21-0. They had like a special teams play. Kickoff didn't get recovered, and that was after North DeSoto just went right down the field. So they got it back, punched it in again, and then I think a 3 and out, and then a score. So that was all she wrote pretty much. That can't happen. Look, when you're the underdog or you're not as good as the team you're playing, you gotta, what do underdogs always do when they're, playing a team at home, like a top 5 team or top 10 team? You saw it the other day, even though they didn't win, Penn State. You gotta hang in it. You're not gonna get down 20 and then come back. That's just not how it works. Teams are gonna put you away. Good teams are gonna put you away. If DeRidder keeps it close, they can't get down 21-0. Right when the game starts. They have no chance. They'll get beat, and it'll be a running clock, and we'll be back home. They're going to have to sustain drives. They're going to have to move the ball, and they can't get into 3rd and longs.
And win the turnover battle.
Yes, if they can get some turnovers, or maybe steal a possession.
And
onside kick.
Keep penalties to a minimum.
Yes, that is another thing that'll just stall out the drive. I've seen it all year. You could be rolling right along, and then all of a sudden a holding penalty or a false start on the 3rd and 1 turns it into a 3rd and 6, and then you're not getting it, and then you're punting or you're going for it and you don't get it. But that's what it's going to take, man, because, look, the Griffins are one of the best teams in the state. They're looking to make a deep run, and, look, DeRidder, it's a tough task. We're not going to sugarcoat it. When you get into the 16-1 matchup, you know what you got after you win the 17-16. So it's going to be a great opportunity. Like we said, if DeRidder can maybe steal some possessions, maybe go for the onside kick or fake punt. Just don't do it in your own territory, when it's like 4th and 15. But they got the guys healthy that can do it. So I really do think that if they don't start out in a 21-point hole 3 minutes in, they've got a chance to hang around. And who knows? We'll see what happens. Again, they'll be at Stonewall. It's like I said, it's up north. If you've never been, it's straight north of 171. But they will be headed up to North DeSoto to face the Griffins. Winner of that game gets the 8-9 matchup. Franklinton, the 8 seed, host Jennings. Jennings is the 9 in the quarterfinals. So could be looking at a combination of North DeSoto Jennings, DeRidder Jennings, possibly. That's familiar there. If DeRidder somehow pull off this upset.
I don't want. I hope not.
You want to see Franklinton? That's what it is.
Yeah, that's.
Derrick wants to see Franklinton. Yeah, he doesn't hope the Dragons don't win. But again, we'll be there. Me, you, and Mr. Isles.
Okay.
So I'll be taking the trip with y'all. We'll get going. We'll probably have a little pregame. I'll cook us up a pregame show. We'll kind of break down North DeSoto, break down what we got going with the Dragons, what they'll need to do, try to pull off the 16-1 upset in the second round. And who knows, man, try to get to the quarters for the first time in a couple of years. Mike, that one on 95.7 KROK.
The station that believes in Dragons.
That's it. So, again, those are our 2 area games here. Also, one of the teams had a bye last week. Kinder, the 4 seed, the Yellow Jackets, they'll get going in the regional round of D3 non-select. They will face Kaplan, the 20 seed. They beat Pine last Friday 33-18. Coach Reed and the Yellow Jackets, the 4 seed, made it to the quarterfinals last year. They will face the 5-12 winner, ERAT, the 5 seed, and number 12, Union Parish. Union actually beat Kinder in the quarters last year. So if Kinder can get the dub and possibly Union get the upset at ERAT, could have a rematch, and it would be a revenge game. That game was actually at Kinder last year as well. So, again, good luck to Coach Reed. We'll be checking on that one, breaking it down as well. And we'll break all 3 of these games down next week on the show. But that'll do it for the first segment. Again, Friday night we will be up at North DeSoto in Stonewall for the Dragons and the Griffins, a mythical matchup. Winner goes on to the quarters. Leesville heading down to Lake Charles to face the Blazers. That game is at Sam Houston. And then Kinder again hosts Kaplan in Division III non-select. We'll take a break, come back, break down some college football. LSU gets the win over Arkansas. The boot stays home. You're listening to the Gridiron Gumbo Show on today's Country 105.7.
Mid-South Forestry Equipment in Manny, formerly Patrick Miller Tractor, would like you to know that we're still providing the same great service that our customers have come to depend on. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to the community is still the same. We look forward to continuing to service all your Tiger Cat, Kubota, Land Pride, and Bad Boy needs. Stop in and say hi or give us a call at 318-256-5686 for more information. That's Mid-South Forestry Equipment in Manny, formerly Patrick Miller Tractor.
Gina Choctaw Pines Casino, your place for fun.
Get ready to hit the jackpot of flavors at JD's Harvest Buffet. Feast on traditional Southern favorites or indulge in all-you-can-eat crab legs. Savor the delicious plated dinners at Cutter Sports Bar or enjoy the new $9.99 value menu that includes classics like our popular Casino Burger. Dine and play at Gina Choctaw Pines Casino.
Your place for fun.
Must be 21.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Gumbo Show, segment number 2, our college football segment. Gridiron Gumbo Show presented by Mid-South Forestry Equipment and Gina Choctaw Pines Casino. Sean Larken with you. Derrick Lee to my right. Mike Holt back in studio. We are here in the Rose Pine High School gym. Again, we are getting ready for our first basketball broadcast of the 2025-2026 season. Should be fun. Rose Pine and Stanley getting us started again. Hard to find a schedule where both boys and girls teams are playing at home right now. Again, pre-district, everybody's playing tournaments, getting ready. I know Simpson's got a great game tonight. Simpson-Ash girls, that should be a blast. I know Evans girls are playing Leesville girls. Thought about that one, but it's girls only. Let's see, I think Maryville's at home tonight. I think their boys may have played last night, but I know the girls play Buckeyes. So, again, everybody all over the place. I think Pitkin's on the road. Hicks might be on the road as well. But, again, really excited to get this going. We'll probably finish up here with the Gridiron Gumbo show about 10 till 6, and then get going right up till tip-off between the Lady Eagles and the Lady Panthers, and then the boys' game to follow. Now we move to the college football segment. LSU gets the win on Saturday in the battle with Golden Boot at 11:45 in the morning. My morning started out well, so it shaped up great, Derek. Got out of Leesville early, no running clock. I was like, this is great. Being able to go home, get up early, get down there. Well, then I couldn't fall asleep Friday night. That was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Then I wake up and my tire's low. So I had to fix that. Got in the parking lot where I normally park every week, no issues, at 11:15. So 30 minutes before kickoff. And, but again, able to get my same parking spot I do every week 30 minutes before the game, which tells you campus was dead. I mean, it was. There's no doubt. Look, I mean, okay, if I would have gotten there at 9, I'll say, top 5 matchup, yeah. I wouldn't have been able to park there probably. But, that's what happens when you're 5 and 4. And you have no chance for the upper. Yeah, exactly. Like in the playoffs, that's what it's about now.
Are y'all still conditioned for a bowl game?
Oh, yeah, bowl eligible now. It's 6 wins. Okay. 6 wins is bowl eligible. So Tigers do get the win. Look, I ran to the tailgate. No food there because I was late. I was hungry. I didn't eat on the way because, again, get there. Yeah, well, I mean, time is an issue. So we go in. It's hot. And about, quarter in, man, I was telling myself, I cannot believe I wasted my time, woke up early, fixed my tire, drove 2.5 hours to watch this 4-letter word that I'm not going to say on the air. Because LSU got down 14-0. And it had me questioning whether or not I should have even went. Sent a couple of texts out, do we really suck that bad? Is it over? Look, LSU gets down 14-0. And it didn't look good on offense. Michael Van Buren's first start, he was really inaccurate at times. Then defensively, LSU got going, and LSU got on the board. Turned a 14-0 lead by Arkansas into a 14-16 halftime score. LSU led. But, man, it wasn't pretty. But they get the win 23-22 over Arkansas to retain that 83-pound trophy that is gold and is shaped like Arkansas and LSU. It's just an egregious-looking trophy. But there were some positives. Like I said, Michael Van Buren wasn't great, but it was good. We needed to be. A couple of plays in the game decided it. Big run there on the final drive. LSU got the ball back. I'm going to pull it up here on my notes or my phone, but LSU got the ball back with 5 minutes left in the game, and Arkansas didn't see it again. LSU had the ball down 1 or up 1 and did not. Arkansas missed the field goal to go up, and they didn't see the football again. So, again, that had to happen. A lot of things had to happen. LSU, first of all, they get a false start to start the drive. Then Michael Van Buren throws the ball short for a 1-yard loss. So it's not looking good. But on 2nd and 16, pocket opens up. Michael Van Buren, which we've been talking about all season, just run. When the opportunity's there, just run. And he did. He ran for 35 yards to the Arkansas 41. A couple more first downs later. Caden Durham gets it going. And then LSU's able to just run the clock out. And we'll get to that final play that LSU ran on offense before they kneeled it, because that had some significance if you wagered on it or if you did your picks like we did. But look, man, it felt good to get a win because the LSU had lost 3 in a row. And you know what's worse than losing 3 in a row? Losing 4 in a row. So they get the win. Coach Frank Wilson's first as the interim head coach, and Michael Van Buren's first as the starter. Like I said, defense was great. Man, sort of the lane had an interception. If Harold Perkins probably could play Arkansas every week, he would be the greatest college football player of all time because he has single-handedly wrecked them twice. Obviously, his freshman year there at LSU or at Arkansas, LSU went there and it was freezing cold. Remember, they didn't even have Gatorade on the sidelines. They had chicken broth because it was freezing, the field froze. He almost won. He won that game by himself. A couple of sacks, a couple of fumbles forced. They blew a play dead, or he'd have had a return for a touchdown. He'd have scored as many as Arkansas did. Then the other day, man, he had a couple of plays, a couple of sacks, had the interception where he jumped the route. But defensively, man, it's the same story for LSU. They look great. Offense is still it ain't good, but it's good enough. The touchdown pass that Van Buren did throw, probably doesn't happen if Garrett Nussmeier's on the field. He moved the pocket around, started to break out of the pocket. The linebacker had to come up because of the threat of the scramble. Come up, froze him, threw it over his head, Bauer Sharp into the end zone for a touchdown. So, and it was good to see Bauer Sharp get in there. He's had an really up and down season at LSU. It hasn't gone as good as we expected, but Caden Durham was great, and Harlem Berry was great as well. They ran the ball. So LSU gets bowl eligible, Derrick, as you asked. 6 wins get you there. So they're in, probably going up to Shreveport for the Independence Bowl, but whatever. They have one more game at home this week, senior night, against Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers have one of the best mascots ever, Big Red. If you've never seen it, just Google it. He looks like Grimace from McDonald's, except he's red. It'll be interesting. The one thing I'm looking forward to, obviously, I think LSU's going to win the game. But the one thing I'm looking for is senior day, or senior night. The game's at 6:45 on the SEC Network. It'll be the reaction Garrett Nussmeier gets. And obviously it hadn't gone well. He came back, fifth-year senior, came back to win a championship. He was the Heisman favorite going in, according to some sports books. He was a consensus top 3 pick, maybe the top in some books, and he's been benched. He didn't play.
Where do you think he go down?
Man, I couldn't even begin to tell you, because Anthony Richardson went 3rd overall in the draft. So, and J.J. McCarthy went 9th or 8th. So
9.
Yeah, and he calls himself 9, and he saw 9 interceptions. I don't know, man. I really don't know. But I am interested to see the reaction. I think it'll be a good reaction. It'll be emotional because, again, this is a guy that did not expect the result, and neither do we. Neither did any LSU fan. This is not the result you expected to happen, and it is. It just is what it is. It's the cruel nature of it. And, again, the sport moves on without you because it's about the college football playoff, and LSU, once again, is out of the picture. We're not even going to get into the Lane Kiffin rumors. Those are just rumors. He was in Baton Rouge yesterday. He's been in Gainesville. Jimmy Sexton's his agent. So you can do with that what you will. When there is head coaching hire, we will be on it, discuss it, break it down. But there's all kind of stuff going on. He could be the guy. He could not be the guy. But there was a lot of good games this week. Lane Kiffin was part of one of them. And they almost lost. So you can see where his focus was. Florida had him 24-20 at half, then Florida didn't score. Also, A&M was – when I went into the stadium, it was 17-3. And then it was 30-3 at half.
I turned the game off at that point.
South Carolina should disband their program. They should disband the program. Mike, I texted both of y'all.
Yes,
what is going on
Yeah.
at College Station?
See, and that's what made me look back at the game, because I turned it off like this game's over. All right, his Heisman chances are done for.
Yeah, it's over. Like you should be unranked after that, 30-3. And I'm thinking, well, LSU couldn't even do that. Like, what are we doing? Like, what is South Carolina doing? And then they don't score in the second half. Honestly, I don't know the math on this. Don't quote me. You could probably go 3 and out every single drive as long as you move the football and not lose. Like, it shouldn't happen. You're up 4 scores.
Let me see. If you don't,
40-second play clock. And if you go 3 and out, or maybe even get a first down here and there.
And if you take it down to late
and like just play some D here and there. Like, you can give up a score, but there's no way. It shouldn't happen, but it did. And that's why South Carolina should disband their program. But they don't. A&M stays undefeated. Georgia hammers Texas.
I didn't see that game.
Texas is 0-3 against Georgia in the last 2 years. They didn't have to play Georgia. They made them really good. But Georgia just absolutely skull-dragged them. It was 35-10. Kirby Smart stealing some possessions. Made Arch Manning look like he did the last couple weeks, not against Vandy and Mississippi State, but before that, Kentucky. And, it was bad, man. Georgia looks good. And this is a Georgia team that can get the ball moved on them. Like Ole Miss moved it. There's teams that have moved the ball, and Texas just looked awful. Alabama, LOL at them. They lose. Oklahoma goes in there and just dominates on defense, man. That is a great defense. And that sets up LSU going to OU. OU having to beat Missouri this week, LSU next to get into the playoff. For Alabama, they have moved the Iron Bowl to a night kickoff at Auburn. There is nothing better, no more drama than watching Auburn end Alabama's season at Jordan-Hare in a couple of weeks. I cannot wait for it because they will.
At 12, Especially high.
Not at 11 a.m. Yeah, 2:30. Yeah, I want to be drinking high noons, not at high noon. I want to be drinking high noons, not watching at high noon like I was the other day when it was so hot and my head hurt because I was staring into the sun for 3 hours. Yeah, it's going to be cinema. And I'm looking forward to seeing Alabama's season end at Jordan-Hare Stadium at the hands of their rivals because Auburn's been close a couple times, man. They've had a chance. I think this is it, and we'll get there in a couple of weeks. We'll take one more break, come back. It is Falcons Hate Week on the Gridiron Gumbo Show on today's Country 105.7.
Mid-South Forestry Equipment in Manny, formerly Patrick Miller Tractor, would like you to know that we're still providing the same great service that our customers have come to depend on. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to the community is still the same. We look forward to continuing to service all your Tiger Cat, Kubota, Land Pride, and Bad Boy needs. Stop in and say hi or give us a call at 318-256-5686 for more information. That's Mid-South Forestry Equipment in Manny, formerly Patrick Miller Tractor.
Gina Choctaw Pines Casino, your place for fun.
Get ready to hit the jackpot of flavors at JD's Harvest Buffet. Feast on traditional Southern favorites or indulge in all-you-can-eat crab legs. Savor the delicious plated dinners at Cutter Sports Bar or enjoy the new $9.99 value menu that includes classics like our popular Casino Burger. Dine and play at Gina Choctaw Casino.
Your place for fun.
Must be 21.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Gumbo Show. Both JV games have ended. Lady Eagles and Lady Panthers are out on the floor, so we will shorten this up even more. But don't worry, in between games, we will make our picks, and we'll talk a little more NFL. Saints, Falcons, it's Falcons Hate Week. There's nothing better, and there's absolutely nothing better than that. Look, when we get a chance to play them twice a year, if the Saints win 2 games and go 2-14 or 2-15, it would be great just to beat them twice because you could make fun of them forever. Like whether or not you lose 14, you didn't lose to them at all. Like,
would it actually be crazy that they get swept by
the Panthers and the Saints?
That would be crazy.
Oh, it can happen. I mean, it's not like it ain't happened before. I mean, they're poverty.
But we're actually 3-0 against them in 2025.
I know. Yeah, no, you sweep them Sunday, and then what's crazy is we talk about this. We talk about it every week with the NFL. The Saints go to Carolina last week. They make Bryce Young look like a 5th grader. And Rico Dowdle and anyone else you want to say. And this dude goes into Atlanta and breaks the franchise record for passing yards.
I didn't know that was
against the defense, who's like top 5 or they're like 6th. They're top 5 against the pass. He shredded them. So what that makes me think is Tyler Shuck is about to have a day. And we have one less win than the Falcons, and we suck. So what does that make them? I was told they were good. I was told we suck.
This is the same team that signed Kirk Cousins for $180 million in his draft.
And Michael Penix is not in there anymore. So it seems to have a season-ending injury.
I think it was his ACL.
He has his knee. He went down. Kirk Cousins played in that game the other day. So the Saints are going to see, they're going to see Kirk Cousins. I've seen Kirk Cousins in person a couple of times. He broke my heart in the playoffs in 19. Then we beat him when he was with the Redskins back in 17. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback in this league. Made a lot of money. If anything, Kirk Cousins has the best agent ever. He's played the money game better than anybody. But I look for the Saints to come in, and for the first time in a long time, the Saints are favored in a game. They're favored in this one. So it should be a lot of fun. Tyler Shuck's first home game. I'm excited about it. Kellen Moore talked about the significance. He's ready to be a part of this. So I'm excited, man. Saints, it's been a while since we played, and we're red hot. Schedule makers. Look, they beat the Panthers, and then they had a bye. So the momentum you had is gone, but you're coming back home. It's Falcons Hate Week. There's nothing better. So what we'll do now, as we are moments away from our first basketball game of the season, we are going to put the Gridiron Gumbo Show on ice for a minute. And we're going to talk a little NFL in between games, at halftime of the girls' boys game. and we're going to do our picks because we did very good on our picks last week. I've got to brag on us at least some. So we'll do that. We will come back, and we will have tip-off of the 2025-2026 Road to the Championships. You are listening to Today's Country 105.7.
Great food.
Back here at halftime, it's boys' game where it's visitors. The Stanley Panthers up 2 on the Eagles, 30-28 at the half. Jack Sport leads all scores with 18. So we've got a little bit of time. Let's get back into some football talk here. We left our segment with hating the Falcons, which is nothing wrong with that. You know, I mean, if you want, we can just hate. We can actually quit the basketball broadcast and talk about how much the Falcons suck and how poverty they are. But look, before that, I mean, there were some more games this weekend.
We don't have that much time for that.
There was some more. Yeah, we don't actually. But there were some games this week that we wanted to talk about, and one of them was Denver, Kansas City. And look, Denver's won 8 in a row. Sean Payton knows how to get on winning streaks. Derrick, I'm going to tell you this, man. I know. No. Well, we'll start with the Broncos first.
Okay.
But there's a lot of teams in the AFC that are really, really good. Okay. And Denver's one of them, and Buffalo surely. I mean, like we'll get into the Kansas City thing as well. But I'm going to say this. Ain't a whole lot of teams going to go to Denver with that defense and win if they get the
I am all high, no.
Absolutely not. And look, Sean Payton has had home field advantage a couple of times in his coaching career. Should be 2 for 2 in Super Bowl appearances, if not for some incompetence by the officials. But that place with that defense, they harass Patrick Mahomes all day. And look, the offense is what it is at this point. Bo Nix, I still ain't sold on him as just being an elite quarterback, but they do enough to just get it done. And it seems like every week it's Will Lutz for the win as time expires for the Broncos.
I don't know, because I seen a podcast earlier today about asking, would you rather go play the Patriots in Foxborough or play the Broncos in Denver?
So that's actually a pretty good question because it's probably going to be between one of those two teams in the top of the AFC. I just say when you can have a defensive line like Denver has,
and
it's not even close as far as leading the league in sacks. When you have that, you can win a game.
And mind you, they're playing and they do all this without Patrick Surtain.
Yes, like the defensive player of the year from last year is not even on the field. And they're still, I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he didn't look good. He looked awful. And look, there for a minute, they took the lead. They get Travis Kelce involved. He scores. But everything that the Chiefs did looked impossible. It looked hard. Like, and that's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. I mean, he said it last year that the offense already was looked diminishing from the year before that.
Yeah.
The defense was the only thing that was really keeping them alive. So.
And look, this game did end on a last-second field goal.
No.
But the Chiefs won every one of those last year.
Yeah.
Now they're
0-6.
Yeah, and everybody says, well, how can you just win 13 of the one score? Because eventually the balances balance out. Like that's how it goes. You're not gonna be that lucky every time because it's a variance that's gonna balance itself out.
That's the same how you felt. That's how we felt about, like you said, they went on 11-0 at one point.
Yeah.
And everybody was saying there's no way they can keep getting away with this. And they showed it last year in the Super Bowl.
So as of right now, they're the 9 seed. They're on the outside looking in.
But they're also tied with the Jags and the Texans, and they have the
tiebreaker. Jacksonville has the tiebreaker over them. The Chargers right now has the tiebreaker. The Bills at 7-3 has the tiebreaker. The problem is the division is out of reach at this moment. There's no margin for error anymore for Kansas City.
I think they can drop. If anything, they can.
The only thing they have is the tiebreaker over the Ravens, based on head-to-head win percentage right now, and the Ravens are 10.
But the Ravens will win the division.
Probably so. I mean, I don't disagree there.
Aaron Rodgers out with a fractured wrist.
Yeah, and look, that didn't matter last week, but it does get tougher this week. Let's get into our picks real quick, and we can talk some more NFL. But I wanted to brag on us. We did pretty well. Mike, back at studio, you and Derrick, both 10-5 this week. I went 8-7. Continue to just roll right along. Derrick, I think this is your best in college number, 6-1. You went 6-1 in college. I went 3-4. Mike 4-3. If you want someone to blame for you not going 7-0, you can blame Harlem Berry for sliding down and not scoring because that is how Arkansas covered that spread. That is exactly why Arkansas covered, and we all did not win that game. Mike, 6-2 in NFL.
Okay.
I went 5-3. You were 4-4. Look, a couple of the games, we were all on OU. They won straight up. I had Pitt. They lost to Notre Dame. We were all on USC except Derrick. We all were on Georgia. The Dogs just hammered Texas. Florida wins, covers over Ole Miss. They were winning that game. Me and Derrick were on that. I was on NC State for some reason. They lost by like a gazillion. In the NFL, we were all on the Bengals. It was close for a minute. The Jags, me and Mike were on that. They blew the Chargers out. The Bills beat the Bucks. I was on the Bucks trying to get one. It was a great game late. We were all on the Panthers. Panthers won in overtime. We were all on the Giants, and we got it by 0.5 point. That's why you get that 7.5. I was on Seattle. Mike was on Seattle. The Rams were 3.5. You were on the Rams. Seattle misses a field goal to win that.
We have to talk about that because Sam Darnold throwing 4 interceptions.
4 interceptions.
In a divisional.
Well, you know what's crazy is they had a chance to win that game.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing because there's no way he's going to do that again. But look, Seattle, I think Seattle, it can't get any worse. It can't get any worse for them because you throw 4 interceptions, you still have a chance to win in the end. Los Angeles looks great. I mean, there's bangers in that division in the NFC every week. So that's going to be interesting to follow.
But do you find it funny that it happened against the Rams again?
Yes, because that's who they lost to in the playoffs last year. Yeah, maybe they just have his number. But look, if you're the Rams, you scored 14 early. Like, boom, boom, it was 14, and then you didn't score again until the fourth quarter. So they've got to figure some things out. Seattle's defense is just as good. That NFC West race is – Mike, you ready to do some picks real fast? We will do college first. And if we stop, we'll keep going. Missouri at Oklahoma. OU is a 7.5-point favorite. I bet on Mizzou all year. I'm going to take the Sooners. They are ready for a playoff spot.
Oklahoma.
Missouri.
Mike, Missouri, there you go. Ain't a whole lot of great games this week. Virginia Tech is a 17.5-point underdog against Miami. They've got them at home. I'll take VT. They've got James Franklin now. We didn't even talk about that.
I'll take
Miami.
VT.
VT. Well, they don't have James Franklin yet, so you're keeping VT. Oregon, number 8, is hosting USC.
Oh.
Oregon is a 10.5-point favorite. Again, these Big Ten games just don't matter to me. The Ducks, I'm going to take the Ducks because USC didn't cover for me last week.
I got USC.
USC. Texas coming off that blowout to Arkansas. Arkansas coming off a close one to the Tigers. Texas is an 8.5-point favorite in this one. Can the Hogs keep it close?
No.
Texas. Derrick. Texas. And Texas for me. We'll put a bow on it right there. Back to action we go. Here we've got NFL picks. A pretty good slate of NFL games this week. Look, like we said, the Chiefs, they're hanging on.
Is it panic time yet?
They get the Colts at home. Colts coming off a bye. The Chiefs are 3.5-point favorite. Mike, did they cover the 3.5?
Yes.
KC, what about you? You think?
Yes.
You know what? Y'all are going to make me go with the Colts, aren't you?
Of course.
I'm going to go with the Colts, even though I don't want
You
to.
just have to die on the hill by yourself.
Did y'all know the Bears are 7-3?
Wow. No, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it matters, but they are. They're 3.5-point favorites against Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers probably out.
I'm taking the Bears.
I'm taking the Bears.
Yeah, Dennis Allen's defense has done a good job. I'll take the Bears as well. Steelers trying to hang on in there in that North. The Bengals, speaking of the AFC North, 8.5-point underdogs against New England. Do the Pats go in there and blow them out? I think Cincinnati covers.
I like the Patriots.
Pats want to blow them off.
Patriots for both of you. I'm for some reason on the Bengals again.
Why?
Cowboys.
Wait, you got to think about this, though. They don't have Jamar this game.
They don't.
Yeah.
But they're at home, and they've got T. Higgins and Jamar. Shame on you for spitting at somebody. Can't do that. Eagles at the Cowboys. Cowboys covered the last one. I don't get that many points this time. I only get 3.5.
Somebody spit on somebody, Jalen Carter.
Yeah, he wasn't there for that first game. He got kicked out immediately, basically a one-game suspension because you get kicked out 5 seconds in. I'm taking Dallas to cover the 3.5.
I'm taking Dallas.
I got Dallas.
Yeah, I don't care what the Eagles' record is. They suck, man. I'm sorry. Like, they're not good. Like, they're not. If Dan Campbell didn't go for it every play and just kick field goals, they probably win that game the other night.
You don't
Another
like
banger in the
you don't
NFC.
like Nick Sirianni, though, do you?
I hate him. He's a clown. I mean, he went for the tush push and gave him a free points. Like, he's a clown, dude. He's a clown. Bucks can't get it done against the Bills. Guess what? Let's get back on the horse and head to Los Angeles. We got the Rams. The Rams are a 7.5-point favorite. I think the Bucks keep it close.
Like the Rams.
No. The Rams going to blow them off.
Rams going to blow them off. Your Panthers get a big win on the road. Monday Night Football this time.
Okay.
They go into the 49ers, 7.5-point favorites are San Fran. Can the Panthers cover the 7.5?
No.
Yes.
No for Mike. Yes for Derrick, who that is his favorite team. Man, 7.5's high, but I do think the Niners can play
It's
defense.
not going to be that bad. It's not going to be a blowout.
I don't think it'll be 10, but I think they could win by 8 or so.
If it was asked me this 2 years ago, then the answer would have been they were going to blow out the water. But this year,
Yeah, I mean, Panthers, look, like I said,
anything can happen this year.
look, I mean, when you play the vaunted Saints, it's just they're going to make you look more mortal, I mean, that's what's going to happen. Thursday night, we'll get started early. The Bills get that big win over Tampa. Now they head to Houston, who is now 500. Houston has climbed out of their hole they put themselves in. 6.5-point favorite of the Bills. Texans at home. That defense, I think they get after Josh Allen and cover. I don't think they win, but I'm going to take Houston.
I'm going to take the Bills.
I think, the Bills, because Josh Allen did have
He is a freak, but
6 touchdowns.
Arguably the dumbest interception I have ever seen in the first quarter of that game. Did y'all see him throw the ball while he was wrapped up with 2 hands?
No.
He just shoveled it out right to a guy. Of course, Bucks can't punch it in. They kick field goal. In our last game on the docket, the Saints are a favorite against the haphazard Atlanta Falcons. It'll probably be Kirk Cousins, Tyler Shuck's first home game. It's Falcons hate week. The Saints are a 1.5-point favorite. They have one less win than Atlanta. They will have the same amount of wins when it's all said and done. I think they win this game by a field goal. Saints.
Saints.
We are Saints across the board, which means they'll probably win by 1. Still a win as long as it's a heartbreaker for the Falcons. Again, if you joined us late on the Gridiron Gumbo show earlier, DeRidder is at North DeSoto on Friday. We'll have that game for you on KROK 95.7.
The station that believes in dragons.
Again, a 16-1 matchup. Leesville on the road. They'll be at Sam Houston playing the 3-seeded LCCP Blazers. That game, if you want to listen to that one, it'll be on 93.5 KJAE. Tinder at home as well against Kaplan. The winners move on to the quarterfinals. Mike Holt, pleasure to join you. Always, it's fun. The picks were good. Hopefully we do a lot better. Again, we are winding down football season, and we are full speed ahead into basketball. It's a great road to the championships opener. For Derrick Lee, Michael, back in studio, I'm Sean Larken. Good night, and we will see you next time on Today's Country 105.7.